Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Yashuan back with another lesson and video, all right? And we know that the Pesach is tonight at sundown, all right? And we're going to eat the Passover meal, all right? Now, this lesson is going to be about the upcoming famine of food and water, all right? So, and it's going to touch on Israel eating their own and their children, okay? Because that's coming, and it's coming very soon, all right? In the video that I have lined up for this, it comes from The Economist. I forget what it's called, but I keep using these videos because, what is it? Epic Economist, all right? Because there's some good videos, all right? And they're on point. This one is about a week or two old, but it's, through the spirit, if it works, then, the spirit dictates, all right? And don't resist the spirit. So anyway, let's start with Acts 11. Well, matter of fact, let's go to Matthew real quick, or Luke 21. Let's set it up real quick. This is Luke 21 and 11. Let's get to KJV. Okay. Start at 10. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, okay, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven, all right? And we've been kind of touching on all of this in the previous videos going through last week, but here we are, back at famine. Not the famine of the word, we all know about that, all right? But this is about that food, okay? All right, now we'll get one more Matthew, and this is the same thing basically. So Matthew 24 and 7, because these are the signs, okay? Let's start at 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Okay, and let's jump down. To 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're going to focus on these famines today, all right? Because in the famine and straitness that your enemy is going to bring upon you, you're going to be made, okay, to there in the cartoons of old, right? When you'd have two characters, and they'd be in a situation, for example, on a deserted island, and then they both get hungry, and one of the cartoon characters would look at the other guy, and then the other guy would turn into like a big piece of meat, right? Or chicken, a roasted chicken, and the other guy be looking at him, and it's funny because it's a cartoon, but that's showing you what happens when people get hungry, okay? They start doing things that they normally wouldn't do. And when you think about eating your own children, all right, your first thought while you're not hungry, your first thought is, oh, that ain't never gonna happen. But People do desperate things when they get hungry, right? And that's what's coming, right? Matter of fact, they say that it's better to die any other way than to starve. All right, that's in the scriptures. If I can find it, I'll bring it out. So let's go to Acts 28 real quick, and then we'll watch this film. So this is Acts 28. Salakia. It's 11. 11 and 20. All right, this is Acts 11, and we'll start right here. 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit, right, that there should be great dearth throughout all the world. Okay. Okay, now let's look at a couple of. Okay. Let's look at the NIV. One of them, named Agabus, stood up and through the Spirit predicted a severe famine would spread over the entire Roman world. This happened. All right, this is a footnote. This happened during the reign of Claudius, okay? And predicted by the Spirit that a great famine was coming upon the entire Roman world. A great famine, okay? Great famine. Over and over, right here on King James, because you see this word dearth, all right? You might not understand that it's talking about a great famine, all right? All right, now let's get one that involves children. Let's get Jeremiah real quick, and then we'll watch the film. So like if somebody's at my door. Delivery. All right, so lucky about the interruption. Okay, so Jeremiah 19 and 9. Let's start at 8. I will make this city a desolation. This is Berean Salakia. Bear with me. 19, let's start at 8. And I will make this city desolate and hissing. Everyone that passeth by, Salah, everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. Famine is a plague, all right? And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their own sons and the flesh of their own of their daughters. Salah, let me read that again. This is Jeremiah 19 and 9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straitness wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straiten them. Okay? So we're coming into Jacob's trouble, and it's going to be horrific. All right? That's downright horrific. All right? But the servants of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai are going to be saved out of that. So, you know, that's why we do this work. That's why we make these lessons. That's why we, you know, keep the commandments. All right, so that it may go well with us. All right, so let's watch this video. Okay, where is it at? Here. Okay, and I'm gonna go to Slovakia. I'm gonna go to a certain part in the video. Because it's about, let's see, right here. Because they're gonna specifically bring out Jake.
Released an analysis that showed 22% of Black and 21% of Latin respondents.
All right, so
tripled among households with children. In a recent interview with CBS News, IPR Director Diane Whitmore-Schausenbach alerted.
You know what? Let's start at the top, I guess, and then we'll get to where they're specifically pointing out Jake's. All right. Now, again, this is the title of the piece. It's a video, Epic Economist. Apparently, I like his videos. All right, it's called "Rising Food Prices Are Triggering a Dangerous Hunger Crisis in America. Be Ready for Starvation." Okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of the front end, and then we'll get to where they're singling out Jake.
Hunger crisis is still sweeping across the nation. Recent data suggests that over 40 million Americans are still at serious risk of facing food insecurity this year. And although the health crisis may seem close to an end, its consequences will linger for a long time. Long-term unemployment and sharp wage cuts are here to stay, as countless jobs have been permanently lost, and many industries are still struggling to make it through the recession.
Now, these are some of the reasons that are leading up to the famine, okay? Because this devil is orchestrating this whole thing, right? They're killing the crops and turning off the water, and you know, they want to starve you out. Really, that's part of their agenda. Okay, they're buying up farms, buying up land so that you can't plant, so they can control the food. All right, this is one of their tactics in war, and they're coming after you, Jakes. And they're gonna point that out.
UN is warning that now, 1 year after widespread business shutdowns severely impacted.
Look at how they're dressed. Look at this. You got Ammon right here, or Moab, like Ammon. And these guys, what does this picture say? All right. Well, DJ Trump was calling it the Kung Flu. These guys are in Mop 5, right? They got the full suit on, and it's crazy. And this guy, all right, what message are they trying to say anyway?
Economic activity and government's extraordinary monetary response aggravated inflation, the situation is bound to get a whole lot worse.
And it is, okay, according to the scriptures, all right? And nobody can stop this.
As food prices are going through the roof, and neither wages nor employment rates are keeping up with the pace of such increases. That's what we're going to analyze today. So stay with us. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, see? All right, now, let's get to the meat of it. I'm going to go right here. Start at about right here. Right here. Now listen.
Needed help to get enough food to eat. According to a report published by the Institute for Policy Research, which relied on data provided by the U.S. Census Bureau's Household Pulse Survey, in less than a year, food insecurity has doubled overall and tripled among households with children. In a recent interview with CBS News, IPR Director Diane Whitmore-Schausenbach alerted that these statistics would likely continue to hold, with the numbers underscoring particularly dramatic increases in food insecurity among Black and Latin families.
Oh, what's that? Jake. Okay, the only thing they didn't say was Native Americans. All right, and yeah, woe unto them that give suck in those days. All right, they said it's extremely was 3 times as bad for those that have children. All right.
At the beginning of the year, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities released an analysis that showed 22% of Black and 21% of Latin respondents reported still not having enough to eat.
They're coming after you, Jake. Just for them to have the statistics, right? They're taking count. They're keeping track of how many people they're starving out. All right. This is all part of an elaborate plan. All right. And you're at the top of the list. Okay. So who's gonna eat? Who's gonna eat their children? You Jakes. All right. You're turning the cannibals out here. All right.
Some areas were significantly more impacted than others. For example, in the early days of 2021, Minnesota has seen an enormous demand at the state's 350 food pantries, which was even higher than numbers registered during the 2008 recession. As food assistance programs expired for several families, many of them didn't qualify to collect the benefits again, and in addition to the suspension of school meal programs, the state has seen an upsurge in demand for food assistance of 56% compared to the same period last year. Despite decades of providing charitable food, in 2020, regional food banks and food pantries have become so overwhelmed they could not keep up with the growing demand. Since last June, multiple pantries declared to be on the verge of a financial cliff, as they simply weren't receiving enough donations to continue to provide essentials or to meet operational payments. As of January 18, nearly 24 million households, including 12.5 million households with children, reported to already be facing severe food insecurity. A survey conducted by the University of Vermont described how the steady aggravation of the hunger crisis since the start of the virus-induced recession is directly correlated to employment levels. In Vermont, for instance, almost 45% of food insecure respondents had lost their jobs. They had been furloughed or had their hours reduced during the crisis. The survey outlined that employed workers are not immune from facing hunger, and it takes longer for middle-class workers to seek help.
Now, see, right there, they talk about Edomites, and they're not going to come out and say, well, and Edomites are starving too. You got to read between the lines. Oh, in Vermont, ain't no Negroes in Vermont. Okay, that's talking about Edom. They ain't coming out and saying that. And they're starving too. All right, so we'll watch a little bit more of this and we'll bring out some precepts and be done.
Having reported only looking for assistance after they completely ran out of options. The CEO of Feeding America, Claire Babineau-Fontenot, revealed that about 40% of the people who have turned to their food banks for help have never before relied upon the charitable food system.
Let's talk about Edom right there. Negroes live at the food bank and getting donations and charity and food stamps and all of that. So we are pretty, resilient when it comes to situations like this, but it's going to get worse than ever. And then that cartoon is going to happen. You're going to look at your son or your daughter and see a steak dinner. All right. A lot of you wicked niggas out there are going to see a big pig with an apple in his mouth. All right.
Never, she stressed. So hopefully this notion of, well, there's not that much hunger in America, and the people who are hungry, they just probably don't work hard. I think it just blew all of that up.
Okay, so old Esau, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That shit is out the window now because you can be starving too. All right, so let's get some precepts here. Okay. Let's get Revelation. Revelation 6 and 8. We'll start here at 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, to kill with sword, and with hunger. Okay, the Hunger Games, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Okay, this is judgment. Part of the Most High's judgment is dealing with the Hunger Games. Okay, all right. Let's get a couple of these that deal with children. Let's get Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26 and 29. Start at 27. And if you will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary to me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury. And I, even I, will chastise you seven times for your sins. That's a perfect number. Completion. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. Okay? That's the Most High. All right? That's part of the Most High's judgment plan. All right? Let's get Isaiah. Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9 and 20. Let's start at 19. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Wow. Okay. You got to look at yourself and see a chicken leg. Okay. A wing. That's crazy. So we're coming into these times, you know. So, I mean, it behooves you to stay safe in these scriptures, and we're going to get some. All right, let's get a couple more. We're going to get some ones that show that the Most High is going to protect us from the famine. Okay, and we have faith. It's a limitation. Lamentations 4 and 10. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Okay? This has happened before in Israel. It's about to happen again. Okay? Because the judgment is here. This is the time of judgment. One more. It's Ezekiel 5 and 10. Start at 9. And I will do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations. Therefore the fathers shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat the fathers. And I will execute judgments in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds. Okay? There was a video on YouTube the other day of a father and son shooting at having a gunfight, shooting at each other on video. Okay? That's how crazy things are getting right now, and how much more crazy is it going to get to the point of a complete destruction. All right? Babylon the Great has fallen, is fallen. Okay? Now let's get some ones that are in favor of the elect. Okay, so let's get some. Psalms. Psalm 33 and 19. All right. Start at 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. That's the elect. Okay. To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. All right. All right. So that's good news for the elect, for the hopeful elect. Because it's not all, I mean, everything is about balance. All right. Let's get Job. Then we'll go ahead and close up. Let's see. Job 5. So these are the times that we're coming into, brethren. Good rising, brethren. This thing. Good rising, brethren. That's when you know it's time to switch the channel. A video will go off and then and they want to come on. Good rising, brethren. You got to turn it off before this dude. Okay, let's see. Job 5 and 20. In famine shall he redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Start here, Salakia. This is Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Okay? All right? Should have started here. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. All right? And I've been corrected a lot in the last few days. And I'm happy for that. And I thank everybody that had a hand in it. All right? The water Yahweh Yahweh. All praise, call halal, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Bashem Kakadosh. All right? So, and then we get, in famine. That's what we're talking about. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. That's heavy. That's huge. Let's go back to Psalms real quick. This is Psalm 37 and 19. Start here at 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright. Talking about the elect. And their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Okay? Proverbs. So it doesn't all have to be doom and gloom, you know. It's got to be balanced. Proverbs 10 and let's see. Let's start here. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish. Famish, that word famish, is dealing with famine. But he casteth away the substance of the wicked. Let's look at a couple of these. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. All right. To go hungry. Famish, famish. Okay. Hunger, righteous hunger. Okay. So that's what that word famish is dealing with, famine. Okay. One more, the one we all knew, right? Let's get Isaiah 53, 65. Isaiah 65, and let's see. Start here at 12. Isaiah 65 and 12. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Thus, Salah, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right? All right? So here comes that famine. Here's where you want to be. You want to be serving the Most High. Okay? You want to be serving the Most High going back years. All right? Rushing up into that strong tower. All right? So with that, all right, prepare yourselves for crazy times coming up, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. It's going to be a bad thing for some, and it's going to be a beautiful thing for the men of the Lord that labor in this truth. And, you know, if it be the Lord's will, then, you know, we are those men, all right? So with that, we're going to say, I hope that the elect were edified, and with that, we're going to say shalom.